Clan Cloud Cobra. Named for the species of snake that developed from Terran cobras released onto Arcadia, Clan Cloud Cobra is a study in contrasts. They're the most religious of the clans, paying homage to the concept they call the Way, that enshrines aspects of all religions. And yet, they are also one of the most devious and political of clans, equating the Way with the Warden cause, while seeking to further their own agenda. History. Shrouded in mysticism, parable and dogma, the history of Clan Cloud Cobra reflects the clan's foundings by Windham Katib, an SLDF chaplain. Together with his sakhan Vice-Admiral Rafe Kardaan, Katib forged the clan into a solid unit. Although ostensibly putting cultural differences aside, Katib fostered a number of debates to encourage understanding amongst his troops of different religion and ethnic background. Together, the Cloud Cobras forged a new philosophy, comparable to the Innosphere unfinished book movement, which sought the common ground between all religions. Katib called this non-denominational system the Way, and it would form a fundamental part of the clan's existence. Though badly bloodied on Babylon, the clan fulfilled its objectives during the liberation of the Pentagon. However, an ambush by rebel forces cost the clan almost half its number, leaving aerospace forces in the ascendant. The clan sustained further damage in the internal strife that followed Operation Klondike. The Cloud Cobras avoided the fate of the Wolverines, but their internal fighting further weakened them. This prompted many raids against them for their most valuable commodity, technological expertise. The most prominent raiders were Clan Coyote, and counter-raids and captured coyotes eventually netted them omnifighter technology. When a large number of civilians and warriors belonging to Clan Baroque defected to the bandit caste, the Cobras accompanied the loyal Baroques on a mission to return their wayward kin to the clan fold. The Baroques claimed to have punished the transgressors, a story accepted until Star Adder proved it a lie in 3058. In 2935, the Cobras were honoured with their Khan, Tobias Katib, being selected as Il Khan. He ruled for more than a decade, doing much to advance the cause of the Cloud Cobras. However, Katib's indictment in 2947 tarnished the gains. He was found guilty of murdering his predecessor, and the Grand Council stripped him of his office and executed him. Suspicions of a wider conspiracy were never proven. As the clans chose side in what would become the Crusader-Warden debate, other divisions within the Cobras came to the fore. Predominantly religious in nature, these divisions led to factionalization of Cobra society, akin to that which consumed the Fire Mandrels. The Cobras divided into groups known as cloisters, some of which supported the Wardens and others the Crusaders. However, the Way ensured that as a whole the clan supported the protectionist policies of the Wardens. When the outbound light triggered a call for invasion, the Cloud Cobra Khans voted to attack, but lacking the strength to prosecute the war, they withdrew from the bidding process, angering several pro-Crusader cloisters and triggering dissension. When Star Adder uncovered details of the Baroque deception regarding their lost members and ongoing dealings with the Dark Caste, the Cloud Cobras were among the most vociferous in calling for the Baroque's absorption. The venom of their call led many to suspect a hidden cause for their action, perhaps associated with the Baroque's crime, but possibly the Cobra's revulsion at the treachery of their former allies. Society. Cloud Cobra society centres around the cloisters and the religions of the Way. Their warriors serve also as priests and teachers, requiring a higher degree of philosophical and theological awareness than is found in the other clans. While the cloisters are divided in their interpretations of the Way, their common devotion to it also serves to limit their divisiveness. The result is greater internal cohesion than is found in other splintered clans such as the Fire Mandrels. The Cloud Cobras accept bondsmen, but those taken by the clan often have difficulty adapting to the theological debates that are part of everyday life. Cloud Cobras taken by Isola by other clans rarely abandon their faith, therefore enclaves of belief in the Way exist in many other clans. Cobra civilians, through the cloisters, have a limited say in the governance of the clan. In addition to warriors, each cloister contains ordained ministers of the civilian castes who, in theory, advocate the interests of the people, and yet the cloisters are elitist institutions, with menial work beneath their members which reinforces the caste division. In fact, many regard the cloisters as political rather than spiritual organisations, used by opportunists to further their own goals. Most Cloud Cobras are pragmatic, realising that many of their goals, largely unknown to the rest of the clans, cannot be easily achieved, and they are willing to take the long-term view. This may be one of the strengths of the cloisters. While most clansmen plan for now, or at best a few years into the future, the Cobras appear to plan generations in advance. Each cloister, headed by an sakhan, takes a proactive role towards attaining its goals, building or breaking alliances as needed. Cobra technological expertise is among the best in the clans. Although Clan Diamond Shark claims the credit for developing the current Iron Womb technology, much of the expertise in genetic engineering stems from the Cobras. Their military technology is similarly well developed, although much of their work is refinement of existing systems rather than new developments of themselves. Military. The Cloud Cobras have a relatively small toman, a result of a series of catastrophic events in their history. They emphasise aerospace as a result of the major losses suffered on Babylon, leading to their focusing on what assets remained. This aerospace bias has coloured their tactics, with aircraft used to soften up targets in advance of a ground assault. However, their small ground force means that the Cobras are prepared to be very patient, allowing their air arm to complete their task rather than the ground force being goaded into action. The number of places in frontline units is strictly limited, and only the best go straight to such units. Most new graduates join one of a series of reserve units attached to each galaxy. These serve as a trained pool of troops, ready to make up losses in the principal units. The clan follows a combined arms doctrine, making use of conventional infantry and vehicles. However, many units are not well-rounded, being dominated by battle mechs or aerospace fighters. Cobra elemental forces are surprisingly weak. Allies and enemies. The Cloud Cobras have few real enemies. Their belief in the way makes them natural allies of the Warden faction, but also allows individual cloisters the freedom to espouse Crusader views. The Cobras regard even die-hard Crusaders such as the Jade Falcons as simply misguided. Only the Coyotes are their enemies. However, this also means the clan has few staunch allies. They work with Clan Baroque for many years, sharing mutual interests such as the Tanite worlds, and this relationship has transferred to Clan Star Adder. While many in the clan regard the partnership with Clan Star Adder to be a new move for the clan, there are suggestions of decade-old deals between the two. Clans Diamond Shark and Snow Raven are also peripheral allies of the Cobras, the former providing useful mercantile contacts, allowing the Cobras to prosper. Snow Raven espouses similar military principles, and the two share information and technology. Least known are the Cobras' tacit alliances with the Nova Cats and Wolves in Exile. The Cobras applaud our willingness to do what conscience and visions dictate. To them, the true mark of the way is firm belief in a cause.